Game over in San Siro, 3-0 for AC Milan, easy win for the sleeping giant. That's how I'm calling this team, because I feel like AC Milan slowly is coming back. Game after game, week after week, every new performance by this team really is telling me that the new players are perfectly integrating with Gattuso coaching tactics, and AC Milan is winning not only important games, but also games that in the past couple years, they were not able to win, because AC Milan was struggling a lot with lower table teams like Empoli, for example. Today, though, AC Milan, after a kind of boring first half, even though they scored a goal that was disallowed, a goal scored by Paquetá, in the second half, after 1-0 by Christoph Piontek, they were able to simply outrun Empoli and score again after a couple minutes with KC. And then they had more occasions to score over and over. And eventually they scored with the Spaniard Castillejo, and actually scored one more goal with Fabio Borini, but a goal, even this one, was disallowed. So previously I said that AC Milan was going to beat Empoli by 2 or 3 goals, but if you look at this game could end up being 5-0 for AC Milan, and it wouldn't have been a major shocker. So I feel like the sleeping giant is coming back. Leonardo, Maldini, and Gazidis, they are building a young team with lots of talent. The last striker to score this many goals and to be this relevant for AC Milan, I have to go back to Zlatan Ibrahimovic in 2010-2011. That's the last good striker that AC Milan has had in the last 7 years. Paquetá, people compare him to Kaká just because he is Brazilian and plays for AC Milan, but for me, he's completely a different style of player. Kaká used to be so fast with the ball, he used to outrun the defenders. Paquetá is more of a player that likes to control the ball, to dribble a defender with his own legs. He lacks some speed, but he's only 21. I think in a couple years he will be one of the best midfielder, probably not only in Serie A but all over the world. Because think about this: the Brazilian league was over in October, so Paquetá didn't actually play an official game for more than 2 months. He gets signed by AC Milan. He comes to Milan, and since he came to Milan, he's been on the 11th every single game. Every single game he's been a starter. Incredible. And I really cannot remember any game played by Paquetá where he didn't perform well. Even today, he was all over the midfield. He was able to recover ball. He was able to give the ball to Çalhanoğlu, to Castillejo. He was always active offensively. Amazing player. Give him time. I think will be another Brazilian crack for AC Milan. Also, I want to give credit to AC Milan defense because, of course, after signing Piontek, all the attention goes to Piontek because he's been scoring every single game. But AC Milan defense since December until today has been the best defense all over Europe. Romagnoli, for me, is the next greatest Italian defender and European defender. For me, is probably along with Van Hill in Liverpool, he is the best defender right now, and the best young defender right now. And Musiacco, even though we don't praise Musiacco the way he plays, he's actually holding himself along with Romagnoli. Donnarumma, the best young goalkeeper all over the world. He's always He always makes amazing saves. He's always safe. He always has control of his own goal. He doesn't make the same mistake that he used to make, for example, last year. You can tell that he's maturing, and the more AC Milan wins, the more they keep winning, the more guys like Donnarumma, Romagnoli, Paquetá, Piontek, guys that are young, that they never played major games, you know, once they start playing and winning and playing in, for example, in the major competition like the Champions League, those guys will be some really great players, because you can already tell how good those guys are. Piontek always when he strikes, he always strikes on goal. I never see him missing the goal. Amazing power, also amazing techniques. He's complete striker. In the next video that I will make just for him, I will compare him to another striker that for me he kind of resembles. Paquetá, I said before, I love him. Give him time. Considering that he's been only in Italy for like 1 month, and he's been a starter since then. For me, that's really impressive. He also scored today, but it was disallowed. Çalhanoğlu is coming back, finally. I loved the way the Castillejo was able to fill for Suso. Bakayoko, after a terrible season with Chelsea, Bakayoko is probably the best midfielder that AC Milan has had so far this year. He never loses the ball. He plays simple, but he's able to contrast the opposing attacker, and he's able to recover the ball and give the ball to the wingers or to the striker. Bakayoko is the type of player that doesn't really stands out when he plays, because he's not like Pirlo, or he's not like Bia, like for example, that they're trying to switch out the players. He just simply does his job. He recovers the ball. He never loses the ball. That's really important. And he's complete. He's a complete midfielder. I'm not saying he's the best midfielder in Italy and Europe, but he just does the correct job at the correct time. That's really a good sign for a player that, in my opinion, can be the next Vieira. If you guys remember Vieira. KC, I'm not the biggest fan of KC, but he scored a good goal. He always runs like crazy. Props to him. And then finally, let's congratulate Andrea Conte to finally coming back and starting for AC Milan after many months of suffering. He didn't do anything special, but he was able to content the Empoli winger, and offensively he was able to actually push forward and do some damage. Of course, I cannot judge him on his first game starting for AC Milan this year in the Serie A. Give him time. He's a great winger. He's a great defensive back, as far as I can remember from Atalanta. Overall, this AC Milan team, I'm starting to like it back. I like what I'm seeing from this team. AC Milan is one of the youngest team in Italy, in Europe. So pay attention to this team. The sleeping giant is coming back. Thank you guys. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.